Now that the Skywalker Saga has come to a close, it's time to look ahead and see what's in store for Star Wars fans as Disney continues to work on expanding the universe. With Disney Plus offering new ways of storytelling and new creatives coming to the fold, it seems like the force is still strong in the future of Star Wars. By now, the majority of Star Wars fans will have binged the first live-action series, The Mandalorian, and inevitably fallen in love with Baby Yoda. But it seems Disney were already convinced that the series was going to be a hit when they confirmed the show would return for a second season just one day after the premiere episode. And, in recent news, it was announced that The Bounty Hunter would return for a third season, as pre-production has already begun. Luckily, the second season had already finished shooting before the current global situation, so it should still be on track for its October 2020 release. The impressive finale of the first season saw Pedro Pascal's Djarin take on a mission to reunite with Baby Yoda, or the child as he's also called, with his own people. When the bounty hunter spoke to the Mandalorian armorer, it wasn't clear if she meant to return Baby Yoda to the Jedi, or back to its own race. Either way, it'll be tricky to find either, considering the Disney Plus series takes place after Return of the Jedi. Pedro Pascal will be joined once again by Gina Carano's Cara Dune as they go up against Giancarlo Esposito's Moff Gideon. The star behind the villain even teased plenty of epic lightsaber action in the second season. Fans will remember that Moff Gideon was last seen wielding the Darksaber, a legendary weapon tied to the planet of Mandalore. The weapon was last featured heavily in both Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars, which touched on the long tentative history between the Jedi and the Mandalorians. Speaking of Jedi, Variety reported that Rosario Dawson is joining the cast for the second season as the live-action version of Ahsoka Tano. Although the Daredevil star said her role isn't confirmed just yet, she's very happy with the situation so far. Let's move a little further back in the timeline to talk about a project that fans have been desperate to see. In August 2019, it was announced that Ewan McGregor would star in his own Kenobi series for Disney+. Although we saw a glimpse of Obi-Wan's later life in A New Hope, it seems like the series will add new dimensions to Old Man Kenobi and explore his time on Tatooine as Luke Skywalker's watchful protector. The Star Wars show confirmed the series will take place 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, placing it relatively near Solo, a Star Wars story. Someone call Ray Park and voice actor Sam Witwer. We need to see a Darth Maul return for a live-action rematch. Speaking of other characters, there were rumors that Jar Jar Binks himself could make a reappearance in the Kenobi series, but the man behind the Binks, Ahmad Best, said that he hadn't been asked about coming back to the role, telling Jamie Stangroom that he thinks Lucasfilm would prefer to move away from the goofy character. So do we. Although the series was put on hold in January, McGregor isn't worried, pointing out that the rumors about creative differences on the show weren't true, and they're simply pushed the shoot to the beginning of 2021 so the writers could spend more time honing in on the scripts. Since the Kenobi series would only last 4 episodes, hopefully it'll be a perfectly exciting adventure that fans have been after since the end of the prequel trilogy. Ewan McGregor also revealed that he watched The Mandalorian in preparation for his own series, while also expressing how excited he is to dust off Obi-Wan's Jedi robes after all this time. Hopefully, with a reduced episode count, it won't take as long to produce the series. For context, it took around a year from filming to release for The Mandalorian. So depending on shooting schedules or any further delays, the Kenobi series could arrive before the end of 2021, but that's just optimistic speculation for now. Although Rogue One could be a little divisive among fans, it delivered a stellar cast of characters in the universe which many instantly fell in love with. Diego Luna will reprise his role as Cassian Andor in a solo series, but don't worry, it won't be a sequel to Rogue One. The star explained that the show won't undo the character's death and will instead find new layers of storytelling to explore. It was recently confirmed that the series will take place 5 years before Rogue One, following Cassian's life in the early days of the Rebel Alliance. The Rebel spy hinted towards the dangerous things he's had to do in the past to survive underneath the Empire's rule, and we saw how deadly he can be during his introduction in the film. For those concerned about the story of the series, Rogue One co-writer Tony Gilroy recently replaced Stephen Schiff on writer duties. Gilroy is probably best known for writing the first 4 films in Matt Damon's Bourne series. Gilroy will script the pilot episode and also direct part of the series. The series has already drawn in an impressive cast, with Alan Tudyk returning as the brilliant and sarcastic robot K2SO, MCU star Stellan Skarsgård, Poldark's Kyle Solar, and Denise Go all have roles in the series, although Disney reportedly denied a comment on their characters. Genevieve O'Reilly is returning once again to portray a young Mon Mothma, clearly pointing to Cassian's role in the rebellion. Whether we'll see another impressive display of Darth Vader's power, like in the Rogue One finale, remains to be seen, but we can hope, right? Clearly, Disney is keen to keep expanding their universe of characters and diversifying the creative talent behind the camera. Disney announced that the co-creator of Netflix's Russian Doll, Leslie Headland, is developing a new Star Wars series for the streaming service. Although the plot of the show is under wraps, Variety sources claim it will feature a female-centric cast while exploring parts of the Star Wars timeline fans have yet to see in live action. It would be great to see characters like Dr. Aphra from the recent Marvel Star Wars comics on screen, but since the criminal archaeologist adventures see her employed by Darth Vader, it isn't exactly a new part of the timeline. Since Disney would most likely want to explore the time after the rise of Skywalker on the big screen, it's probable that the Headland series will take place before the main saga. Although fans are incredibly divided over Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, Disney were clearly impressed with the filmmaker as they handed him his own trilogy of movies back in November of 2017. Although rumors swirled that Disney had since canceled the trilogy because of the backlash against The Last Jedi, it seems the project is alive and kicking. Rian Johnson himself recently confirmed that he's still talking to Lucasfilm about the project, telling Variety they haven't announced anything on their slate yet. The Knives Out director previously revealed to Slash Film that the aim of his pitch was go to new places, meet new folks, come up with a new story to tell in the Star Wars universe, the sky's the limit, and they really responded to that. While Disney is taking a small break from Star Wars to let the franchise breathe after the end of the Skywalker Saga, the next adventure on the big screen will arrive on December 16, 2022. The slot was intended for the Game of Thrones showrunners D.B. Weiss and David Benioff to explore the High Republic era of the universe before they parted ways with Disney. The pair explained they couldn't give their Star Wars film the attention it deserved, so felt it was the right decision to step away. Kathleen Kennedy was originally meant to reveal the director of the 2022 film in January, but since no announcement was made, it's possible that the slot could still go to Rian Johnson. Disney's next big Star Wars event, titled Project Luminous, will focus on the High Republic era in books and comics. The publishing initiative was announced at Star Wars Celebration 2019. Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, Danielle Jose Older, Cavan Scott, and Charles Soleil were announced as the writers behind the interconnecting stories between Marvel, Disney, Lucasfilm Press, Del Rey, and IDW Publishing. Charles Soleil revealed that they were working closely with the Lucasfilm Story Group. Aside from some fascinating imagery of the High Republic era Jedi, the only tease about the new event came from an ominous tagline reading, quote, "The Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things until," end quote. The first book by Soleil, Light of the Jedi, arrives on August 25th later this year. The stories will feature the Jedi Knights of the Round Table, as the writers explained in the announcement video. It'll see a Star Wars universe in peacetime, but with new adventures for readers to jump into, as well as new villains that threaten the High Republic. It seems that Disney and Lucasfilm are keen to make the era the focus of the Star Wars universe going forward, with the often accurate Making Star Wars claiming inside sources revealed that this would also be the idea for the next movie. The site also claimed the 2022 film would feature a relatively young version of Yoda, and would even dive deeper into the Sith mythology, but all this remains unconfirmed. Although we might have to wait until 2022 for the next Star Wars adventure on the big screen, there's plenty to keep fans occupied on Disney Plus and with Project Luminous on the horizon. Make sure to keep an eye on Heroic Hollywood for all the latest entertainment news. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos. Let us know in the comments what you're most excited to see from the Star Wars universe in the future, and may the Force be with you. Thank you for watching this video.